Hi, welcome to Tungsten certification software. This is just a quick video to show you some of the features of the software and how it can make your certification efforts much more efficient and streamlined. So here we are on the home page, which just lists your current projects, any projects you're personally involved with, and any upcoming projects. Basically, everything in Tungsten works via a library, so the more data you pre-enter into the library, the better everything works. So aircraft manufacturers, customers, equipment locations within the aircraft, your method of compliance, product types, it's all there. The EASA certification regulations that are loaded at the moment are shown here, and we've got an FAA certification standard as well. In the settings tab, you can set up your users and you can see what roles and what access they have. So if you want to change any of that information, you can only do this as an administrator. You can change their levels, and maybe you can change their CVEs, or as they get more CVE authority, you can update their CVE status. Then if you go back to, say, projects, you can see here what projects underway. So go into it, you can see there's always statistics on the projects at each page. There's a little bit of project management. You can take a snapshot of a project at any time. You can add comments and add tasks. So if there's something to do on that project you want to remind yourself of, you can just put something in here. Just to remind yourself that you've got some work to do, and that will stay there and you can tick it off once it's complete. So you can go into the project, and what you'll see is the project's set up as a whole series of steps, and you basically work from step 1 all the way through to step 14, and you just work your way through all of the questions. You can allocate extra CVEs if you'd like. As I said, all the data in this demo is dummy data, so you can't use it for actual certification. It's purely to illustrate the functionality of the software. Everything is submitted, so you always push the green button at the top or at the bottom, doesn't matter. Update it, it's saved, all data is always saved, you never lose it. And then you just work your way through each of the steps. You can do your certification schedule for your cert plan, and just select from the drop down and who your approved users are as to what information can be put in here. Oops, not applicable. Not applicable. You can add comments wherever you want, and to activate it, you just select activate, save the step. And so you keep working your way through each of the steps like this. As you get further in, as it's chosen your aircraft, the certification basis, or the TCDS for the aircraft is already chosen. You can choose your cert basis for the aircraft. It's Amendment 1, let's change it to Amendment 3, update it. As you go through project classification work, it's all per the standards, and there's some smart logic in the software which makes sure that you can't accidentally nominate the project by the minor or major based on significance and things like that. Then you keep working your way through. You do it as a change or repair. Let's make this one a repair, and probably don't want to use that, so oops. All the equipment that's available, you can repair it. Save the step. Then we get on to step 5, which is the interesting bit. You can also, as fast as you type in the XYZ data, it produces your weight and balance corrections for you in X, Y, and Z, and produces your total moment tables and the corrections for each piece of equipment installed, and that is automatically written into the reports at the correct locations. So you don't need to worry about doing the calculations, it's all done automatically. Step 6 allows you to produce the cert plan. So this is CS23 subpart A. So you select it from the equipment. You just choose how you're going to complete all these sections. And then you add any certification comments in here. All this data goes straight into the cert plan. If you want to revert to a previous version like this, we just click this button here to go regress, and we might revert back to, say, Amendment 1 and the same paragraph, obviously. Choose that, and now you can see we've reverted to Amendment 1, whereas the project's actually using Amendment 3. And if you look up at the top here, it tells you that, oops, in the top right hand side, Amendment 3 is the baseline anyway. This is the aircraft and the owner. So you keep working your way through each of the subparts. Just click on the subpart, and render it in, and off you go again. Just select the appropriate paragraphs, what equipment it's applicable to. Compliance. And you just keep working your way through all of this, and then just keep saving as you go. Okay, there we go. And then on to step 7, where you can now release the certification plan before you finish your project, because you need to get the authorities to approve it. So you can sign off your project plan using an encrypted signature. If there's any comments to add, that's fine. And you save the step. You can't publish the plan until everyone else has signed off their applicable areas. Okay, and if you want to revoke it, you can just click on the revoke button at any time. Then as you move further down the steps, you'll see now that as you're writing compliance statements, the paragraphs you've already chosen are pre-selected for you, and they're pre-written into the reports. So all your applicable equipment, all the information's there. You add your compliance statement over here. You can add files, stress files, etc. to justify your statements. Maybe test reports, it's all there. And just keep working your way through each of the steps. Any applicable drawings you can upload, add comments, and that will go into the applicable drawings list in the correct report. If there's additional compliance statements required, say for 21 statements, HERF, failure hazard assessments, they're all here. And as you can see, we've already chosen the equipment, so the failure hazard assessments have already been reported from the library, and now you're just doing the overall system failure hazard assessment using that equipment. Again, add your comments, save the step, and that will get written into the reports in the correct place. Moving right along, step 11. These are your test plans. So you've got choices here. You can use standard test plans and reports for, say, ground test, flight test schedule, or you can add additional plans by clicking on the button up here and adding what it might be. So you might have an EMC ground test. Oops. You can see it's going to create the ground test plan and the test report for once you've done the test. And that gets added to the report list as well. Okay, save that step. All data is kept and saved. You never lose data, so you can never have a mistake. Moving right along, continued airworthiness information in a pretty standard format. You fill it all in, you click on the tabs and add extra data as required, installation removal instructions, etc. for each of the pieces of equipment you've chosen, so it's already pre-populated. And then step 13, you actually get to now look at your reports. Let's say load. And you can see here, this is how your report's going to look. It's got all the company information from the library and all the data you've produced throughout. Because the project isn't published, it's got draft written on it, but that disappears once a project is published. And you can go through and look at each of your reports. You can print these off, do what you want with them. And then moving right along to step 14, once the project's completely finished, you can come off and sign off your part of the report. save it, but it won't publish until everyone else has actually signed their parts as well. So then if you go up to projects, you can see your projects here. You can take snapshots of a project at any time. So before it's published and you want to go and discuss it, or you want to revert back to it later on, you can just go and take a snapshot of that project. And just go to create. Just add some data in there. Create snapshot. And there it is. Okay, so if you want to go back and revert to that, you just click on that and you're back in that project there. It shows you where you're at the time and shows you where what the report status was and all the other information associated with that report at that time. You can also clone a report, so if you've got an issue B of a project, you can just clone it and then change the issue from A to B and then keep going. It's very simple, very user friendly. It's very intuitive, it's very flow left to right. The best way to learn how to use this is actually just to get in there and start using it yourself. So we encourage you fully to access the free version online, populate it and see how it works for you. If you've got any feedback, get back to us. We'd love to hear from you. The next videos will be more in detail and they'll describe to you each of the tabs and how to create data for them.